In a universe as vast and variant as Marvel's, alternate realities are fertile ground for bold reimaginings, and few characters embody that potential like X-Man. Created during the explosive Age of Apocalypse storyline in 1995, X-Man, also known as Nate Gray, was envisioned as a living weapon, a genetically engineered messiah with powers so immense that even the most powerful telepaths feared him. As a clone of Cable without the techno-organic virus that hindered his abilities, X-Man was born to be the ultimate psychic force in the multiverse. Nate Gray first appeared in X-Man #1, March 1995, spinning directly out of the Age of Apocalypse, a 4-month Marvel event that saw the main universe replaced by a dystopian timeline where Professor Xavier died before founding the X-Men. In this alternate reality, mutant scientist Mr. Sinister created Nate using the genetic material of Jean Grey and Scott Summers, Cyclops. Unlike Cable, the original child of that union in Earth 616, Nate wasn't infected with a limiting virus. This allowed his telepathy and telekinesis to develop unrestrained, making him one of the most powerful mutants ever born. Trained in secret by Sinister to one day destroy Apocalypse, Nate eventually broke free, joining the Resistance and fighting alongside alternate versions of familiar X-Men. But when the main Marvel timeline was restored, Nate survived the collapse of the Age of Apocalypse universe and was transported to Earth 6116, immediately becoming a wildcard in an already complicated mutant landscape. On Earth 6116, Nate struggled to find purpose. As a teenager with godlike abilities, he often found himself in conflict with authority figures, especially Cable, whose existence mirrored his own, but with years of experience and battle-hardened wisdom. Their interactions raised philosophical questions about destiny, identity, and power. Unlike Cable, Nate had no military training, no political agenda, and no tolerance for manipulation. His storylines often centered on existential threats, mental instability, and the burden of being too powerful in a world that fears power. Throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, X-Man explored a variety of themes: religion, madness, responsibility, often straddling the line between superhero drama and metaphysical horror. Nate battled reality warpers like the Madeline Pryor/Red Queen, alternate versions of himself, and even psychic parasites that fed on his power. He was often compared to Jean Grey as the heir to the Phoenix legacy, with many fearing he would lose control and unravel the fabric of reality itself. Eventually, Nate sacrificed himself in X-Man #75, 2001, to save the multiverse from the reality-warping villain Kabiri. He seemingly dissipated into energy, and for a time, was believed dead. But in typical comic book fashion, he returned years later, first as part of the Dark X-Men, then in 2018's X-Man Disassembled, where he re-emerged with even more immense power and a new god complex. In X-Men Disassembled and the subsequent Age of X-Man event, Nate Gray reappeared as an Omega-level being with the power to reshape reality. Believing that the world's hatred and violence could never be cured naturally, Nate created an entirely new world, one where he removed pain, war, and even love to create perfect order. Though his intentions were noble, the world he built was sterile and dystopian, proving once again that unchecked power, even in the hands of a well-meaning messiah, could lead to disaster. After the fall of the Age of X-Man reality, Nate's status in the current Marvel continuity remains fluid. He embodies the paradox of ultimate potential and ultimate danger. Unlike many mutants whose stories are about acceptance or evolution, Nate's narrative is always about control, his struggle to balance compassion with power, and to find meaning in a world that sees him as both savior and threat. In many ways, X-Man reflects the anxieties of the postmodern superhero era. He's not a soldier like Cable, a leader like Cyclops, or a martyr like Jean Grey. He is raw potential given form, an Omega-level question mark in a universe defined by cause and consequence. Whether reshaping realities or wrestling with his fractured identity, X-Man stands as one of Marvel's most powerful and philosophically rich characters.